I think I've told you this off air many times. I don't know if we ever talked about it on air, but all those major issues you and the legislature were dealing with and wrestling with all spring long, none of them ranks, in my opinion, to the importance to the voter as property tax reform. That's one of the things on the emails that come into pamatters.com. Everyone's always, and we have one today, everyone's always asking about property tax reform or property tax elimination. Is there any chance down the road that this is going to be addressed? I mean, rank and file folks down there introduce a bill every year, but I never hear the leadership talking about it. I never hear a solid plan from the House or Senate leaders. Is this on anybody's radar down there right now?
When you say down there, you mean in Harrisburg?
I mean in Harrisburg. I mean you and the leaders in the House and Senate.
Well, it is with me. That's one of the reasons we fought 2 years ago to reduce the number of waivers that the school districts could get from the Department of Education in order to raise taxes without having to go to a referendum of the people of Pennsylvania. I think those property taxes should be a decision at the local level, and the people should get the opportunity to vote on it. And that's one of the best ways to do it. Now, there are 3 exemptions, I think, still. We went from 12 to 3. One of the exemptions is the issue of pensions. And that's why we really need to get this pension reform, because right now across the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, there's combined, I think, $174 million that we have that we could save if we go to pension reform. And that's doubled by what the school districts could then save. That's going to keep your taxes down. But it also requires, because it really isn't, the property tax doesn't apply to the general fund of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania or anything. The property tax really applies to the municipalities and the school districts.
Right.
And, Brad, as you probably know, the municipalities are very limited into what their property tax can be. I forget how many mills it is. Mm-hmm. And then they can only go a little bit above that before going to the court and asking for permission. And the courts are reticent to do that. So we're really talking about the school districts. A lot of that has to do with the fact that we have 500 school districts.
Too many, by the way.
500 different boards, 500 different administrations. And we spend a lot of our money in that area. And each school board has their different interests, but they are the taxing authority. So, frankly, the people of Pennsylvania have it within their local grasp to demand to have a school board that is responsible to the taxpayers of Pennsylvania when it comes to property tax, and particularly now that we've taken the exemptions from 12 down to 3.
But all of that assumes under an existing property tax system, and people want to hear ideas about how to get rid of the property tax altogether, expand the sales tax, maybe increase the sales tax in some areas. Is there anything like that?
Well, I mean, there have been discussions along that line. I think it was Act 1776 last year that was out there. It financially didn't work out. You're going to have to find the ability to replace the amount of money that you take out, because, as you know, and look at the number of complaints that people have about me. I cut spending by almost, or I shouldn't say I didn't cut it. I didn't have the money to spend at the same level, to about $2 billion, and didn't raise taxes. People want us to make those savings, but they don't want us to increase their taxes at the same time.